Hello there, YouTube. We are back with some more Matchplay commentary. I'm joined by my brother from another mother, the highwayman himself, TJ.
Yep.
We've got a pretty good set of matches here over this next week or so that we'll be sharing with you guys. This particular matchup was TJ playing the Numemon deck on the left, going up against Guenther playing Red Hybrid on the right. These matches were filmed over at Sully's Abode, a local card shop that we go to every Thursday for Digi. It's located in Bolingbrook, Illinois, so if you're in the Chicagoland area and looking for a place to play some Digi, some card games, do feel free to check the shop out. They've got a ton of different locals. Great shop, great people, and they've supported us throughout this sort of journey here, and just overall great place to play. So if you want to check them out, feel free. We'll drop their TCG player link in the video description down below, along with the rest of our socials. So please do feel free to check them out. And last of all, if you haven't liked and subscribed yet, please do consider doing so. We would greatly appreciate it. But yeah, I'm excited to see how this match went. I know you've been kind of practicing Nume because it's sort of on the potential decks that you play for Peoria, although you're leaning towards a certain blue-green dragon.
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
see. But yeah, let's hop right into the round over here.
Yeah, so Nume right now is already really strong, and then with the new Uko, it gets even crazier.
That new Uko is so good.
Uko is very good.
Just for
It also
a lot of
pairs-
decks in general.
and it pairs perfectly with the promo Uko. But yeah, so I've been playing a lot of Nume, trying to learn the deck a bit more and kind of get used to it. There is a good bit of it probably on the way, so just expect to see probably more Nume, because it's kind of becoming my main deck for locals as I grind it out while I practice other stuff behind the scenes. But I start us off, just decided to drop a Garymon for 3, pitch a Nume, and then draw 2. I did not have a rookie in hand that opened with. The mulligan was a little bit rough. And as you guys can probably tell from the speed of this video, it's just a true, just both sides swinging for the fences game.
Which, I mean, honestly is how the matchup typically goes, right? Because both of your decks are very low to the ground, kind of fast aggression, get as many bodies out as possible, and just go unga bunga. Oof. Speaking of
so I was scared. So I swing Nume X, hoping to just try and get some early chip in.
Okay.
And then they hit that the Atomic Inferno. I almost said Fire Rocket. I have to go Manze X.
Yeah.
I think I was missing. I had a Garymon in hand, which I go to play and then realize I'm like, wait, hold on, I don't have a thing to pitch. So I end up just saying, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll leave it there. And then at this point, I think I just go Venus, and I'm just like, well, just get a body on board. Venus, just lock him out, so that way that Atomic Inferno just turns off everything.
I mean, they're going to be big bodies, but other than that, they can't swing into Venus. A lot of Guenther's when Digivolving effects can't proc anymore, and Red Hybrid does sort of live off of that to a degree.
Yeah. So he just can't do any. He can still swing and do a check, but he won't be able to activate any Digivolving effects.
Right.
But Chiguni being only at 5k, it'll die pretty easy if it checks into anything bad. But the good thing about Nume is that everything in my deck is basically 2k or less.
So it goes into Alda, does end up living.
Yeah, I think he was wanting it to die so he could hopefully play out a free Takuya.
Sure.
It was a bit hard.
Which, I mean, like you said,
Crimson Blazing,
with your deck being the way that it is, most other decks, there's a chance that it dies, but against yours, there's actually very strong chance that it lives, even at the 8k that it's not buffed at.
I'm also a dummy, and you will see multiple times in this video, I forget to draw off of the EX4 Sunomon egg. Yeah.
Sure.
I forget about it all the time. At this point, I'm debating if I just want to go Merciful mode and then just punish his trash.
Sure.
Just try and set him back to 0, but I think I just swing over the Aldo with Venus.
This does allow him to play a Takuya. Pretty Takuya. I was there in LA when Guenther finally completed his set of pretty BT-7 Takuyas. The look on that man's face he was so happy. I was happy for him.
Yeah.
Well,
the art is so good for them.
Yeah, they're so pretty. But I mean, I think here, I think this is probably fair. If you have the okay, no Satsuki, but wideboarding is still not a bad play. You know, he's used up a Crimson already, so at this point, you just wideboard, try to get some chip damage in, and just see what you. Oh God.
Had a Fire Drake, so just put that Takuya for free. Which also going into that new X, I forgot to draw off the Tsuno. So I was silly Billy. I think I just go Waru Manzai, just to set him over to his 3 because I didn't want to pass over too much memory with anything else.
But I mean, you're already threatening lethal, and this is what, like turn 3, turn 2. If you're counting first turn as turn 0.
It's my 3rd turn.
Yeah.
So. And at this point, I was explaining to him what Waru Manzai does.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like here too. Yeah, go ahead.
Nume is it's so weird because sometimes it's just all gas and your opponent can't stop you, and other times it's just sort of feels bad, man.
Sure.
So he goes into BT-7. Why did I say it like that? BT-7 Burning Gray to pop the Uko. Goes into Alda.
He will get his
what he wants to do.
When digivolving effects now.
Yep.
But unfortunately, this one does not proc because it has that security modifier.
Yeah. So, he was only 12k. So he was 14 with the inheritable. But I think he didn't want to leave himself suspended or something, so he opted not to swing over Venus because he didn't have the security tech keyword there.
I think it was 17 though, right, with the Alda, or 18. With the Alda?
It goes up and it's 2s and 4s. So 17 wouldn't be a thing for it. It's 8 base. Yeah. So it goes up. It's 10. It's at 10 with Takuya that gets plus 4k itself, and then. It is Emperor Grey, right?
Yeah, it's Emperor Grey.
17. But as Aldemon, he was 14.
Sure.
That's what I was
sure.
saying. But the Emperor Grey couldn't pop me because security tech keyword, and Guenther just forgot.
And then you go merciful
did the plan,
mode
and he was like,
it, yeah.
Yeah, so I delete that, and then bottom decked most of his stuff except for his Crimson Blaze and his egg. So then he doesn't get the on deletions because on deletions resolve from the trash, and they're not there to do it. So
merciful mode's still good. I mean, I think we're starting to see a niche meta where merciful mode is starting to like. It was probably like a late bloomer, but it's starting to see a lot of value now, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, it definitely was not very good when it first came out. Like, it was an okay card, but it was just too expensive and didn't do enough for the times. Goes Burning Gray, pops the Chikuri, goes Alda.
Alda swings over Waru Manze, which allows you to play something out.
Yeah, I can play a Nume by effect, so I'm looking at what I want to play. I end up just playing the RBO1 Nume, because I'm like, well, if it dies, I'll at least get some search. So I'm kind of, my hand's not great right now.
Sure.
And he goes Emperor. When Digivolving will activate because I don't have Venus on board anymore, so it deletes my
merciful mode,
my Omni.
You do get to play out a Garamon off of the inheritables. You pitch a Platinum Nume. Okay. Which, I mean, I think right there and then, right? Like, Guenther did, like, excellent board control, yet at the same time, you are able to go ahead and just have 2 bodies back on board who are now live and can swing for game. Red Hybrid doesn't typically run any blockers that you see, and we've seen from the beginning of the game, you had Louis that you could just push up and swing with Chikuri.
Yeah. Which I thought about playing earlier, but I was like, wait, I want to save Louis for a game swing.
For sure.
If I can.
I think
I've won so many games off of. Yeah, I won so many games where my opponent just like they clear my board and they like set up to like be able to stop my floaters or like put themselves in a position where like the bodies left on board won't be able to go for game.
Sure.
But then I can just drop Louis and push up.
Yeah.
My rookie and swing for game.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that's a 1-of in your deck right now, right?
The Louis, no, he's 2.
He's 2.
2 of.
Okay.
A lot of JP lists run him at 1-of, which. I can see why. I mean, you only really need to use him once to win the game, right? Especially if that's why you're using him. But I don't know. I like having him at 2 because sometimes it just helps to have a little bit extra aggression. Because because it also could be used just to kind of help put your opponent in a position where they need to respond heavily to your board, otherwise they just lose.
Well, speaking of added aggression, Uko and Red Hybrid is still really, really strong. So we see Guenther go into double Uko and raising for both of you guys. You play the Gare to pitch a Platinum, and then thinking about it, yep, you go into Monze.
Yep, and then I just minus 3k and pop the Flame.
But I mean, I think before we get too deep into game 2, like game 1 was a pretty good illustration of what like Nume wants to do as a deck, which is like low to the ground aggression. Like even if you do board control them, which is unfortunately for Red Hybrid, like mainly a deletion focused way of board control, you can just float your bodies back out again and like continue that gas.
And then on top of that too. On top of that too, having Venus is just such a huge shutdown for Red Hybrid.
Yeah. Read my mind, Brother Bear.
My jab. I remember to draw off Suno this time. Monze effect to spit out a Nume, but I don't have a Satsuki to tuck.
He's high.
Just going to Nume X, get some extra draw.
Monze
swing
for
2 checks.
Oh my god, Tamers.
Which he does live.
Uko
I decided to just swing with the Uko.
But here, I mean, you could easily like just flood the board, honestly.
Godzilla's marching through Tokyo right now. The board state is shaking. Yeah, I Monze X again, play out the Nume. I have the Satsuki this time, so I play the Satsuki under. And then I decide to give Rush to the other stack because I have Sec +1 now, so I swing for 2 checks. Die to the Alda.
Oh, that's right. I always forget that it's not like it has to be Nume. It could be something else.
Yeah, you just one of your Digimon gains Rush, so I decided to give it to the stack that has Sec +1 because I was like, well, yeah. And then I top decked the Venus earlier off the draw, so
yeah.
I mean, he's down to 1 security, no rookie in back. He has his Tamers, but he can't activate when Digivolving effects, so he can't even like go BT-7 Burning Grain and pop my bodies.
Right.
I have a rookie in back, so even if he Crimson Blazes, it doesn't super matter. I put myself in a really good spot.
Yeah. Yeah, Venus.
And like, you know, we talked earlier about how like, you know, we don't try to upload blowout games and stuff like that, but I think that this is a game where it illustrates how fast Nume can be, and shows how well it floats. And we don't have too much Nume on the channel, so. No,
I agree. I think this is a very smooth Nume game for you, and also just a very good like meta matchup as well, right? Like this is a very clear illustration of why Nume has done what Nume has done in this set, which is like top multiple regionals, consistently do very, very well because of what we're seeing right here, right? Like very fast aggression, you know, even if you control board, unless you're bouncing or like de-digivolving, you're really able to just float your bodies back out, keep up that tempo, and as long as you're seeing your pieces, which you are here, you're doing really, really well for yourself. You know, you know, this is what, again, like turn 3, I think, and you already have Guenther down to like 1 security. You're threatening game next turn unless he can do something crazy.
Which your Crimson Blazes me.
Yeah.
And like, the matchup is good and it's bad. Because Red Hybrid just constantly runs Crimson Blaze now, so it makes it difficult in one way. But at the same time, with Venus Tech in there, you shut them out of a lot of stuff. And they do have a lot of undeletion, you know, removal that you float. Yeah. So it's, I don't know. I think the decks kind of just butt heads. I think they both have like pluses and minuses against each other.
For sure. But you do end up taking it in 2. So good shit over there.
Yeah.
And yeah, just well played. So like I said earlier, you know, just a very good illustration of what Nume wants to do. As TJ pointed out, also, like, we don't have a lot of Nume on the channel. So hopefully this was some good content for you guys to not only just see what the deck can do, but also see it up against a pretty strong meta contending deck in and of itself. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let us know what you guys think below. Like I said, check out our socials, which will be in the video description below, and hit us up with a like and subscribe if you can. But otherwise, we'll catch you on that flippy flip. Bye bye.